Oh, hello, you're back. Welcome back again. As I promised you, we have our ghost investigation of Pittenweem Part 3 to show you. And the last segment of this trilogy of the Ghosts of Pittenweem is probably the best we've got so far. My residency of the tower lasted from 2003 to 2017, when the tower building itself became unsafe, and for the next few years the council's been trying to raise the funds to fix the building. Because of that, we got chased out, and we had to do without the tower. We will get back, but in the meantime, all we have is our memories and what we've caught so far. But we come to the final segment of our catches in the tower, and there's some of the best. And people ask me, do you never get scared in what you do? The answer is no. But this one did give me a fright, because we weren't prepared for what we caught on camera at such a short notice. And it was the end of doing a tour in 2017. I'd previously done a tour the week before of the tower, and it went as successfully as the rest of them had been. But I got a comment. I got a woman who basically got a fright halfway through the tour, and she said, when I welcomed people on the tour of Pittenweem, I'd come out the tower door. They'd meet in the cemetery, so I'd come outside and find out how many was there. I'd give them a quick health and safety, and then in we go into the tower, into the first floor, in which we would start the tour. Now there's just me. There's no one else. There's just me that does this. And the woman said that when I greeted her at the entrance to the door of the tower, there was a tall man with me in period costume, in a dark cloak. He was seen, and then he disappeared into the tower. She thought nothing of it. Her and her friend saw it. Her and her friend, we started off on the ground floor of the building. As I said, there's 4 more floors, and each floor that we went in, they were waiting to see this guy in period costume who would probably jump out and give them a scare or whatever. But we did the full tower, and this guy was nowhere to be seen, so they're a bit bemused. And it wasn't until we left the tower they said, "What happened to your friend? We thought he was going to jump out and give us a scare at some point." Until I had to say to them that there is no friend. I don't know what you've seen, but there's only me, which frightened them to the extent they didn't continue the tour. They went home. They'd had enough. 2 weeks later, I'm doing a tour again. It's about August, September, so it is getting dark at night. And the tour was finished. I came outside the building, and there's the usual people wanting books signed and want to talk to me, and I'm more than willing to do this. And I was speaking to a couple near the gate of the tower, and behind me somebody let go a shout, and I turned round, and the guy said, "I thought you were standing next to me." And I turned round and I saw where you were standing, and I just got a fright because I didn't know who was standing next to me. I thought it was you. And so whoever's standing next to him has vanished. To this extent, I pulled out my camera. I did a spread shot round the cemetery of the church that we were in. And I got a remarkable photograph. What we're looking at is there's a blow-up of it, this picture here. You'll see it better on the screen, but it's a very tall man with some sort of sailor's cap on, shouting at the camera. I mean, it's clear as day. He's shouting at the camera. We never saw anything. I've heard anything. It was just caught in the flashing of a camera, and what we've got here is a quite remarkable picture. Is this the fellow we caught speaking earlier on in our Pittenweem Part 1, Sheks Come Bring 'em? Is this the jailer? Is there a jailer still associated with the tower? He's got a medieval jacket on of some sort, his bald fist and shouting at me. Is this the figure we caught on the stairs? Looks a bit tall for him. I think the figure on the stairs we caught in our previous showing was a minister. I think this man could be a jailer. I don't know, but it's a remarkable picture, and we have a guy posing in his exact position, which you're going to see in a minute. And this was in 2017, and the last we had of it. Now, these are the last photographs, but we've got a set of pictures which we haven't showed you here from before I started doing the tour in 2005, and this is really what started my interest off in the tower, knowing there was something in the building. This is before I actually started doing tours. I came up from London, and I brought my partner in 2005, Julie. Now, we went for dinner along at Anstruther, and it was about 10 o'clock at night, and September, and I was dying to take her into the tower, show why I've been coming up here, why I've been writing about the tower, why it's in my book, The Weem Witch. But I took her into the tower, and I didn't have a torch, but we could go up on the roof of the building. This is the goal. I wasn't going to take her into any rooms because you couldn't see anything, but I was going to go to the roof of the building, and from the roof of the building you can see across to Edinburgh, all the lights and sights, and it's quite nice. So that was the goal. So anyway, it's a spiral staircase, 5 floors. She's leading, I'm pushing her up the stairs. She got so far to the 2nd floor, and then she screamed. She screamed, and I ended up with a bum in the face, knocking me flying. She came hurling down the stairs. I had a camera in my hand. I was using the camera light to go up the stairs because I didn't have anything else. It's a bog standard camera. What came down the stairs, I'm lying on the ground, she's in a room screaming. What came down the stairs was this yellow thing. That's the first photograph. That's it in front of the doorway, hovering in front of the doorway. Now my partner's in that room screaming away. That's in the front of the door. I'm lying down the ground wondering what the hell's going on. It expanded hugely. My partner is here hiding away. You can just see her in the photograph. You'll see this better when you see the full screen. But it went enormous. It had such an interest in her, not me, in her. And then it broke away in waves of light. Broke away, and there's my partner having a fantastic day. Terrified. Now, we got out that building as fast as you can imagine. Got a taxi and sat in the taxi speechless. We were speechless because we couldn't fathom what had just happened. She was absolutely terrified. Got home, never slept a wink. Going home the next day, she became ill. And we went back to London, and she progressed through the night, and she ended up in intensive care. It was appendicitis. They didn't catch it at the right time, and the appendix burst, and we had a whole nightmare in the hospital. Basically a resident of the hospital for a year, in and out of comas, etc. Now, that's another piece of my history, but it was unforgettable. this thing in the tower went to my partner, is it because for some reason it knew she was ill, seriously ill, as a fact dying? I don't know. It totally, it never bothered me whatsoever. It bothered her. Really strange. Now, I've brought people into the tower after this, and we've had disturbances. People with diabetes and certain diseases, people with illnesses, and this thing has shown itself again. There's some connection there which we haven't kind of worked out. In the hospital, Archway Hospital, North London, I had several photographs from what we'd previously caught in the newspapers, and I got my first spread in the newspaper in the weekly weekend Sunday papers, and it spread around the hospital, and the doctors got to know me, and so they came to me and said, "We saw your spread in the newspapers, and we see you. You look after ghosts. We've got one. We've got one in Archway Hospital." Now this photograph you will see in our next segment is a whole new story, and it's one of the photographs that went right round the world. It hit at least 50, 60 newspapers in this country, and it gave a lot of problems to the hospital for what I caught there. But that's our next segment. We'll leave you on looking over these photographs once again of our Shouty man, we call him, the Shouty man, and the disturbance on the stairs. And hopefully this will lead you from Pittenweem, from Scotland to London, and what we caught in London, and where I would meet up with a very famous Ghostbuster who was primer to the Enfield poltergeist. We'll leave you in that.